We reached the threshold where people complain a lot about gasoline prices, but we haven't necessarily reached the threshold where they change their behaviors.
A very unique situation with a lot of different factors coming together to kind of create this perfect storm.
Bad news for anyone who uses gasoline. California pays the most.
One of the hottest topics across social media is gas and its rise over the past few weeks and months. Now, there are a lot of theories, some misinformation, so for this story, I wanted to go to the experts directly that have a combined 50 plus years in researching the market.
Well, I've been following oil markets and gasoline markets for over 40 years.
Patrick Dahan, head of petroleum analysis at Gas Buddy. Well, obviously the Russia situation has pushed oil prices up. Russia is the second largest oil producer globally, producing 10 million barrels a day of oil.
According to Gas Buddy, the average cost of gas across the US is $3.78 in early March. In LA, the average cost is $5.27. So for me, a 40-mile round trip to and from the office costs just below $8.50 a day. Last year, that same route, gas was at $3.78 a gallon. I was paying just below $6 a trip. Some areas are starting to break records, like San Francisco, that's breached $5 a gallon on average, but other areas across the country are still below the record numbers. Now, all of that can change with today's climate.
Well, I don't see the prices going to some of the hyperbolic numbers that you're hearing, people talking $6, $7, or $8 a gallon. I do think that the country's going above $4. This will change, and this will change behavior. It'll probably really be a catalyst for more people buying electric vehicles.
So with California breaking records, it's important to know why.
Well, yeah, California's got the nation's highest gasoline taxes. It's the only state in the nation that has cap and trade that essentially pushes down to the individual consumer the cost of emissions.
You have a lot of fees, not necessarily taxes, but in addition to taxes, you have carbon basically that you're paying for at the pump. And all of that adds up to about $1.30 a gallon or so. In addition, you have a very clean gasoline that a lot of folks can't make. It's much, much less volatile because of the air problems than other places. So it is a perfect storm for Californians.
So breaking it down even further, state and federal taxes combined is at 80 cents a gallon. Throw on added fees from underground storage tank, cap and trade, to low carbon fuel standard fees. You come up with $1.19 in just taxes and fees per gallon of gas before any fuel cost. Now remember, California does require that unique blend of gas, and not every refinery across the US can make it. So if one goes out, the ripple effect is definitely felt throughout the country.
So having a different kind of fuel than the rest of the nation also adds to the cost, kind of the uniqueness of that blend of fuel.
Another issue is closures. Refineries across the US have decreased over the years. Last year, there were 129 refineries that were operating or idle in the US. That was down from 135 the year prior. And compared to 1980, there were 319 refineries. What's interesting about 1980 is, according to energy.gov, the average gas price across the US was $1.19. Adjust that for inflation today, that would be $4.06 a gallon.
I would say that the takeaway is this too shall pass, and it has nothing to do with blame for the Democratic or the Republican Party. It has everything to do with Vladimir Putin acting rogue as though he were presiding over North Korea and having to scramble to really come up with some solutions to this.
Unfortunately, things could get worse before they get better. Projections always show an increase as we get closer to summer months, especially this year. As more states lift COVID mandates, more people traveling, this summer could definitely shoot up with more demand.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think the situation is going to improve anytime soon. The Russia situation is could potentially worsen. And we're on the road to the summer driving season, which means that prices generally go up as much of this transition from winter to summer gasoline takes effect. Not a whole lot of good solutions. I mean, Russia is one of the largest oil producers, and there's no way to quickly replace the capacity that they have.
Hey everyone, Cody Broadway here. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out the NBCLX YouTube channel. Be sure to click here for more videos, and also click here to subscribe to join the NBCLX community.